Hi friends, the Russia-Ukraine war has finished 1,000 days, and there in the US we have Trump, who has won overwhelmingly, and he will be the president of the US on January 20th next year. And here we have Biden giving permission to Ukraine to shoot off long-range missiles into Russia. But in today's condition, Russia has an upper hand and has also fired off missiles a few days back and devastated Ukraine. Ukraine is running pillar to post to save itself and hopes for a peace plan by next year end. And again, you have France getting into clear frontal confrontation with Russia and trying to reprimand Germany because Germany is wanting to withdraw its support in this Russia-Ukraine war, saying it has no role. Trump, with his anti-NATO stand, may withdraw in case his modalities are not worked out. He says that what have I to gain from Russia-Ukraine war? And at this stage, Biden has given permission and long-range missiles have been fired into Russia. So, what is Putin's reaction to it? He says that he will not tolerate any nonsense. He has North Korean troops at his disposal. So, where does this whole gambit lead to? Do we go towards the World War III, which is being talked about? Because Putin says that he will lower his nuclear threshold and may fire off. Here, Ukraine says that 80% of the Russian missiles have been deflected off. Though Russia says that they will build up a better air defense system so that these Ukrainian missiles, which have been supplied by NATO countries or European countries, are hitting into Russia's naval headquarters in Crimea, and Russia will retaliate because Putin is a man running in fifth gear, doesn't go into reverse, and his mindset is only his own ego and keep Russia up. So before I go ahead, I would like to say that we have started an NGO to look after the education of the economically underprivileged. The NGO is Uma Dream Foundation, and to know all about our activities, you can click on the link given below in the description. So let us go on to our topic of the war that is going on between Russia and Ukraine. So what are these missiles that are being fired into Russia by Ukraine? This is the first time that Ukraine has fired these US-supplied long-range missiles at targets inside Russian territory. Till now, there was no sanction given to Ukraine for firing these, but these ATACMS missile systems have been fired off and have damaged Russian targets in the Kursk border region. And this is supposedly said to be retaliation or response to the arrival of the North Korean troops in these regions. But then Donald Trump, the president-elect, is against it. So what are these ATACMS? These are Army tactical missile systems and are surface-to-surface ballistic missiles capable of hitting targets up to 300 kilometers or 186 miles. The longer range makes them particularly important for Ukraine. These have been built by defense manufacturers Lockheed Martin. The missiles are fired from either the tracked M270 multiple launch rocket systems, that is the MLRS, or the wheeled M142 high mobility artillery rocket system HIMARS. Each of them cost about $1.5 million. ATACMS is pronounced as attack EMS. These are fueled by solid rocket propellant and follow a ballistic path into the atmosphere before coming down at high speed and high angle, making them difficult to intercept or even to find out their flight path. These can be configured to carry two different types of warheads. The first is a cluster fitted with hundreds of bomblets designed to destroy lighter armored units over a wide area. These might include parked aircrafts, air defenses, and concentrations of troops. Cluster warheads, while useful, risk leaving behind unexploded bomblets which pose a risk long after the fighting has stopped. The second type is a single warhead, a 225 kg explosive variant of which it is designed to destroy hardened facilities and larger structures. These have been around for decades and the first were used in Gulf War of 1991. The US Army is presently replacing it with next generation precision strike missiles, a faster, slimmer weapon that can go up to 500 kilometers. And presently there is no suggestion that Ukraine has them or the US or the NATO countries will give it to them. So these will basically have effects on the Kursk Voronezh area, which are about 300 kilometers away from the Russia-Ukraine border. Ukraine first used these missiles in a strike on Russia's Bryansk region last Tuesday, and it is said that 5 missiles were shot down and there has been some damage in the Russian territory, though nothing is yet confirmed about the whole thing. And in retaliation, Russia has fired off Oreshnik missiles. So what are these which Russia and Ukraine are playing with? Ukraine, with its support from the NATO, is firing these missiles. Russia has said that they will not stop short of anything if Russian sovereignty comes in between, and also if NATO is directly fighting with Russia instead of making Ukraine a stooge. So on Thursday the last, Ukraine's city of Dnipro was hit by a Russian airstrike which was described as unusual, triggering explosions that went for 3 hours. These weapons can travel at a speed of Mach 10 or 10 times the speed of sound, and there is currently no way of countering this weapon because this weapon basically depends on speed and stealth, because the speed at which goes, the AD systems or the air defense systems are unable to detect it, and before the opposition can understand that the missile is coming, it has already struck the target, because it hardly takes about 10 to 15 minutes for it to travel, because it is traveling at nearly 3 kilometers per second and can travel more than 500 kilometers. And also the kinetic energy is so much that the effect and the blast stays on for hours together, creating total devastation of the area. So with all this going on, the NATO giving permission to Ukraine to fire the Storm or ATACMS missile, and Russia also testing out its Oreshnik missiles, and Biden in his last few days has escalated the war, with the NATO countries getting divided on the whole issue, and Donald Trump having a mindset to stop the war, though he has given no plans for it. And Putin has clearly said that he will reduce the nuclear threshold if Russian sovereignty is at stake. So let us see what happens in the next few months for this whole area which is under war for nearly 1000 days plus, and Zelensky is also looking for a peace plan. So keep watching to our channel to know more on this issue, which I'll be giving out videos on, or otherwise I also have spoken on the Russia-Ukraine war in my previous videos. The link is given in the description below. And also, like I have said, I am available free of cost for coaching you on life skills, or you can call me offline and online to serve you so that you can be successful. Jai Hind.